All right, things are quieting down and it's wrapping up Geofluid 2023. We've had a good look around ourselves, and we thought we'd take you around a few things that we've seen on other rigs that we think are pretty cool. I'm here with Alex, who's the technical director at GTD. And he's going to hopefully explain a few of the cool features that we liked. Fraste, it looks like Fraste have made the move to fit a 4x3 proper mud pump now to their rigs, much the same as what we have. They've got some really cool features, which is the priming feature. Alex, explain that to us.
Yeah, okay, so obviously the main issue with centrifugal pumps is that they need priming. A neat little feature on this is the Venturi vacuum that's basically going to suck your air out of your centrifugal pump to prime it, which makes life a lot easier and faster. And also this could also be used to blow the water back out in winter, so you're not going to have issues with it freezing.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. So they've got basically somewhere in there, I guess they've got a compressor, much the same as what we fit to ours.
Yeah.
And then they've just
then there's a small vacuum here, fitted on here.
Yeah.
Which is used to basically suck the air out of the pump.
Really good. And you've used these over on other rigs, haven't you?
I've used them on a Conrad rig in Holland, and yeah, they're fast, they're quick, and it saves a lot of hassle.
Yeah, great mod. And I think that's Agiva, who Valentine, who's been driving that for Fraste. So they're really sort of looking at every little element to make the rigs even smoother and easier to use. So hats off to them. Well done. So you're going to be nicking the make of that. I think we'll be installing it on the GTD rig soon. You may recognise these rollers. I don't know where we got that idea for our rigs from. Massenza have put on a pretty good display this year. Loads of rigs and yeah, very varied. Alex is going to talk us through a couple of the geothermal type rigs, they're very popular in the UK through Rockbit. MI8, you see quite a lot of guys operating those, don't you? Yeah,
so yeah, it's a pretty popular rig in the UK. I mean, it'll drill to, I think guys are going down to even 250 with these. So it's got a piston pump, single head rig, double clam. It's pretty standard basically. It'll do the job.
And the rod rack, but how's that work? So
yeah, I mean, that's just manual operated. You're lifting the rods in by hand, so
okay.
Nothing too special.
And then it's like, so they got 154 horsepower, so yeah.
It's enough. I imagine it's less than what we've got on our rigs, but they've found a way to run it basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, tidy. I like the control unit that's remote, so you stand away. And also, yeah. I'm always confused at how they get away with so little controls compared to us.
Yeah, you've got a few more up there, haven't you? So you've got 2 control panels. So.
Oh, where? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So that'll do the riggers.
Yeah. Okay.
Remote control tracking, nice little feature. Yeah.
Rollers, same as us.
Head tilts out as well.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, that's a nice feature.
So yeah, very popular rig in the UK.
And I like the colour. And then I guess this is its big brother, isn't it?
Yeah, MI12 with a double head fitted from Eurodrill. Yep. Fully remote control. Nice bit of kit.
So that's a similar head. It's obviously the same partner. We use Eurodrill as well. That's like I think that's the 32, and we have the one up from that, the 40. This would be maybe a double head that we would fit to one of our smaller rigs, like the GT25.
Yeah, we've also got the chuck fitted as well.
Yeah.
And ours does 180 RPM. I think this is limited to 70.
Yeah, I think it actually says somewhere I read it earlier, 61 RPM. Yeah, which is sort of which is fine. I think it's mainly for undoing, isn't it?
Yeah. And obviously the chuck means you've only got to unthread 1 thread, not 2.
Yeah, oh right.
And also we've got 180 RPM, so it's going to be a lot faster.
It's substantially bigger though, isn't it? R1.
Yeah.
And for this, because this is not a common, explain.
So this is for loading casing and rods together basically. So I think this rig will probably be 2 metre casings, 2 metre rods. So you lay the casing on the floor, put the rod inside it, and then pick them both up together. So it's just reducing manual handling basically.
Yeah.
And high ab as well, nice little feature.
It's like a Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife of drill rigs.
Big mist pump.
Where's the actual mud pump?
Hasn't got one.
They don't run them much?
No, it's just an air drilling rig.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be used with a compressor. I'm not sure where it's going, but yeah, nice bit of kit.
A really cool feature with the Massenza rigs is they've got a lot of push down. So they've got the same amount of push down as they did have pull back. Alex, and how does that actually?
Yeah, so these are working on a sprocket drive basically to drive the chain. So they've got different options on different models. I think the MI8 over there, that works on a piston, the same as ours does, whereas this one's on the chain drive. So they've got 15 ton in, 15 ton out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the rig probably weighs around 15 tons, so you're going to be at its limit. So yeah, good feature.
Yeah, nice. And the full remote control is, I think
it's very good for the operator.
Yeah.
You know, you can stand back from the rig, stay out of the sun, stay away from the air compressor. So.
Mud, air flying in your face.
Yeah.
Triple clamps.
Oh, and the sensor as well on the gate.
Oh yeah. So this is something we're seeing on a lot of the rigs. Really well developed sensors instead of having the gates now. Comaccchio have done the same, and we'll go and look at that later. But we all hate gates, you know, and we have to make gates. Every different country has a different rule, and it's laborious, and none of the drillers like it. But obviously, safety first. These sensors, it's a great idea, and I think the guys are really nailing it. And it will definitely be something we look to emulate.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
Well, it's just a laser, so as soon as you break it, boom, rotation stops. So simple as that. It's the same as basically where we open the gate, and as soon as that gate goes open, it cuts rotation. The laser does exactly the same. So, and obviously with the problem with the gauges is it limits your view as a driller, so the drillers hate it because you've got to look through the mesh and then the frame.
And then also you're opening and shutting it all day.
Oh yeah,
well.
opening and shutting it, and the frame's getting in the way.
Yeah. Obviously they do have issues because they can get, if they get mud or spray on them, then that can affect the operation. So
Yeah.
you cut them out. So yeah, there's pros and cons to both options.
Yeah, yeah. I suppose it's like, again, it's a bit more analog having the cage. It can't really go wrong. It's just, you know, opening and shutting a bit of metal where, you know, you've got electronics. I mean,
they do get hit and bent. That's the thing where it just can't. So there's plus and minuses.
Yeah, but it's definitely something we should be looking into. So this is Comacchio stand. I mean, pan round Rich, and you can just see the sheer size of it. How many rigs have they got? 23 rigs this year?
It's pretty impressive setup. They've absolutely smashed it, I'd say.
They've got a full restaurant inside. They've got offices. I mean, it's
the Mac Daddy of stands, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and not forgetting the flag. I mean, it's just it's awesome. What is that, Alex? Explain why that mast is so big and what it does.
Yeah, so I think it's a jet grouting rig. So you basically get one pass. I mean, that must be what, 40, 50 meters. So yeah, it's just going to save time because you're just going to put one rod in the ground, basically. So yeah, I mean, it's not something we do, but it looks pretty impressive.
And how does it collapse? How do you transport it?
I'm guessing it must fold down somehow.
Who knows? Someone in the comments tell us how it works. We don't know. We'll stick with geothermal. Right, I think this is the geothermal area, and they've got some pretty cool new. They've got their new 700, the Geo 700. So let's have a look at that because that's got some new features.
Is this the 700?
This is the 700, yeah. So they use a no piston pump on this, and a Capari, but a small multi-stage, smaller than our one.
Yeah, I think it's a 3x2.
This is because this rig is very specific built for Belgium, where they don't need the flush.
Yeah, we're still going to do 16 bar, so I mean, you're going to get some reasonably flow off it. Obviously, the amount of time it lasts is going to be the issue. I think they've got the mechanical seal on it, so yeah. We've now upgraded ours to that as well. So
they are lasting.
But also it drops to the floor, which is obviously going to make priming.
Oh yeah, this is a really cool feature. So instead of what we were talking about earlier on the Fraste rigs, where you've got the compressor to prime them, Comacchio have gone a completely other way, and the actual pumps are on hydraulics, the platform, and it drops to the ground. And of course, if you lower it than your water, then it's going to prime naturally. So a completely different way to achieve the same result. A really cool feature. They've got upset collars on these.
Yeah, just to increase your flow basically. So I imagine they have at least 50 mil through the rods, probably even more. So
Yeah, I imagine it because so that's a 100 mil rod, isn't it? Rather than
no, that's an 89 mil. Yeah, that's an 89 mil.
80 mil rod with an upset collar.
Yeah.
So giving a 100 mil, 101 or whatever it is.
Yeah, probably on.
We'll have a look at the spec sheet. So if it's got upset collars, this is not an air drilling rig at all.
No, I think this rig's going to Belgium, so it's going to be mainly, definitely 100% mud drilling. So,
yeah.
So you can't really use the upset collars with air drilling because you need to use diverters, and then you're going to struggle to get your rods through your diverter basically.
You get no seal.
Yeah.
Okay. So very focused rig, this built for a specific market. Yeah, we'll have a look around. This is the new rod handling system, so we'll have a look at it. So 3.2 ton capacity. I'm not sure how many rods. I don't think they filled it right up. I think it probably takes a bit more than that.
Yeah, I must have close to 180 metres.
I don't know, 200 maybe, 180.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you've got at least, I mean, that's more than 50 mil. You're looking at probably maybe 60 mil through the rod. So nice wide flushing. Chuck drive, double clamps. Good rig for the Dutch and Belgian market.
Yeah, so the rod diameter is 95 mil, Alex.
Yeah.
And the rod length is, so you've got 5 metre rod length, 40 rods, so 200, there you go, 200 metres of rods on there, 5 metre length, so really good length. And you really need to see this working to understand it, but it's got a weird sliding system, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think we've got a new patent on the arm, so it's meant to be, I think it's meant to be as fast as anything else in the market for pulling rods, so yeah, be interesting to see it in real life.
I feel a race coming on, maybe.
Yeah.
And of course, if we look down at the rig and the clamps, we can see the infamous pink penetrator. I believe that the guys that supply this from Belgium, the customer whose rig this is uses our drill bits. So always nice to see your equipment on the Comaccchio stand. Nice little partnership.
Yeah, the next that we've got looks like a double head rig, probably going to Switzerland or Germany maybe.
And this is their own. So Comaccchio used to use Eurodrill, and this isn't a Eurodrill head, is it? So is this their own double head?
Yeah, I think so.
So they've swapped from. Although there are some rigs here, if you pan over there, Rich, on the 909 GT, that still has a Eurodrill head, but I know that they're starting to make their own ones.
Yeah, this must be their own head, I think.
Yeah. So
there's still quite a lot of Eurodrill heads here by the looks of it. So.
Yeah. So obviously on a changeover, Comaccchio on a changeover between producing their own, I suppose they're doing it model by model rather than the whole range at once. So it's the 909 GT. It's been a very popular rig in UK, hasn't it, over the years?
Yeah, I think there's at least probably, must be 6, 7, 8 in the UK now.
Yeah. Even more maybe. Yeah. I mean, it's a beast. I mean, it's right up there on the weight and capability.
Yeah, I think it's got 120 metres of rods and casing on board. So.
Yeah, I think 128, isn't it? Yeah, that it can do without touching anything.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive capability. And it's a completely unique design where it's got a carousel that brings them round together, vertical rods. So it's a proven design that's been around a long time, but and it's very unique. No one's really emulated it. And I'll tell you what is, Alex, I looked at this earlier. Go and look at the size of this mud pump.
Yeah, also I like the paint.
Yeah, this is I'm not sure. My money is definitely on the Fraste, the green Fraste. That's my favourite colour of rig paint. But this must be a custom colour. It's like a copper. It looks pretty cool. But you see a lot of Comaccchio rigs in different colours, so I believe they give the option to the clients. They can spec what they want, which is always nice because we always like everything in company colours. Look, basically this could be a GTD rig, couldn't it? It's the company colours. Look at this. I mean, this is a beast, isn't it?
Yeah, so it looks like it's just got one pump, a massive, must be a 1200 litre a minute.
What, it's just a mono pump?
No, dual.
Dual?
Yeah.
Oh, were you saying, right, they don't have like centrifugals and...
Yeah.
But I do think that they offer a...
you can also have the centrifugal pump as well.
Because I'm sure like Synergy, Anthony's rigs, they have that. And a few others back home in the UK. But the weight of this pump alone is 2 ton. I mean, it's an absolute beast.
Yeah, so this is a new feature. So they fit a catch tray because I believe that this is used with water to keep the pistons cool.
So what, they just literally spray water onto the ramp?
Yeah, well, or
oil?
Or oil. I mean, oil's obviously going to work better. So, I mean, traditionally they use water and it just went on the floor, but this looks like it catches it. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, like that.
Hi, I'm here with Huug, the CEO of Eijkelkamp, and he's going to show us a bit of his kit and give us a little talk about.
Absolutely. So today we're looking at a true 150 hertz LRS sonic rig. It's set up with 2 heads. We can do 50k sonic drilling and a diamond coring head up to 1000 RPM. And we're going to show you one of our latest and greatest with regards to safety. And it's called a Manipul 250 remote controlled. Luke Eijkelkamp, my son, is actually going to give a demonstration.
This thing's been doing demos all show and it's been drawing massive crowds.
So the problem is with drill pipe that it's heavy, it's difficult to handle, we don't want to lose fingers, we want drillers and drillers' assistants to not have back injuries. So what we did is we created a robot arm sitting on the rig, and then within 3 meters distance and 180 degrees, we can pick up anywhere from 3-inch to 12-inch. And the beauty is the arm is set up with a magnet, as you can see now. So you can lower down on a stack and pick it up from a stack, and then we have mechanical grippers fetching the drill pipe, making sure it cannot drop.
Yeah, so you don't have to squeeze it in and grab it, it just picks it up. Yeah,
correct. And different sizes is obviously a problem if they are stacked, right?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And what rig's this on?
This is a 150 hertz LRS, large rotosonic. Sonic rig capable of drilling 350 meter depth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Serious bit of kit.
It's a big kit. The other beauty about this machine is it has an auto run, so he will calibrate in the morning where he needs to be in the center of the borehole,
yeah,
and where your actual pallet is with your drill pipe,
yeah,
the rack, and then he does it only once, and after that it's auto run.
No way.
Yeah. Oh my God. So he just has to hit auto run and it goes automatically.
So as soon as so it's basically learns how to do it once, he understands that and he can just do it itself.
Correct, memory.
Wow.
Yeah. And just to understand the weight of that stick, what he is moving around as we speak, that is around 120 kilograms, 260 pounds.
And what's the limit? What is that around about the limit? Or?
No, we do 200 kilograms, 450 pounds.
Yeah.
That's the limit.
Okay. It's super smooth. It looks really, really smooth.
Hey, there's another advantage. Your client, the driller company's client, will start loving this because of safety. And another thing is, it's easier to get offsiders because now they are actually just working with a remote control instead of lifting heavy drill pipe and casing.
So which no one wants to do anymore.
Right. And what is the next generation?
Yeah,
Nintendo.
So good on the computers,
Nintendo,
Xbox, yeah, here we go. How quickly can you pick that up?
Looky, how quickly do they pick it up? 5 days, 4 days, smooth?
5
Yeah,
days.
so a week on site and you're pretty proficient.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like playing a piano, right? I mean, it needs some time, but if you do it, man, you're smooth. Same thing with this. One thing I have to say though is what we like to see is that people actually fence off temporarily the area where the arm is moving.
Yeah, okay.
Making sure that there is no incidents with people going in.
Well, thanks for taking the time to show us.
Absolutely, but I thank GTD for coming by and asking about our machines.
Brilliant.
Appreciate it, man.
No worries, see you soon.
Absolutely.